What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have Starkiller 5555's part 2. He's going to be covering Attack of the Clones. If you guys want to check out part 1, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Also, make sure if you enjoyed this video to check out his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel as well. You can go over there, make sure to subscribe. Starkiller is a nice guy with like a lot of potential, so I think one day in the future he could really be successful on the platform. So definitely go check him out and subscribe. So I guess without further ado, guys, let's jump into Rewriting the Prequel Trilogy Part 2, Attack of the Clones.
The Star Wars prequel trilogy are mediocre movies to the fan base. So, while I really enjoy them, and they're my favorite trilogy, it's time to rewrite everyone's least favorite of the original 6 Lucasfilm Star Wars movies.
That's fair.
Which is Attack of the Clones.
That's fair.
Let's do this.
Ding, dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so my version of Attack of the Clones begins a couple years after my version of Phantom Menace. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, you should probably go watch the Phantom Menace video, otherwise you will be very confused.
I told you,
anyway,
go check it out.
Anakin and Obi-Wan are, like, the two most popular beings, like, in the galaxy, because in the minds of the Jedi and the Republic, they prevented the return of the Sith. Obviously, that's not what happened.
That's fair.
But that's what everyone thinks. And it's not going so well for them, because Obi-Wan's being constantly stressed out because he's being approached by all these, like, higher-ranking masters, and they're all like, yo, you're training the Chosen One? You must be so wise and powerful. And, you know, Obi-Wan's kind of like, I don't want to mess up. I mean, I am trying my best, and I do, not to toot my own horn, but I think I am a decent Jedi. But, you know, he's constantly stressed out about that. And Anakin is just like, yo, when I was signed up to be a Jedi, I didn't want to be the Chosen One, like, and, you know, he's constantly, you know, like, scared he's gonna mess up, then everyone's gonna hate him, and then he's gonna be kicked out and become a slave again. Big emotional problems. So Obi-Wan and Anakin are constantly, like, arguing with one another, because they have no other way to let out their stress. Well, Anakin anyway. Obi-Wan meditates sometimes. And so they're called by the council, and Yoda's there. I forgot to mention that Yoda is part of the council, but you probably would have already knew that. And Yoda's like, a great disturbance in the Force, I sense. And I'm not going to say this all in a Yoda voice, because I don't want to get a sore throat. But anyway.
That was a good impression.
The council is
or
just like, yo, Jedi have been
good impression,
dying.
that was.
Our numbers have gone down a decent amount in the past few years, and all that's happened once Dooku disappeared, so something's definitely up. And so they send Obi-Wan, like, to go on this investigation, you know, see what's up. And Anakin's like, well, why can't I come too? I mean, I'm his apprentice after all. And they're all like, yo, Anakin.
Yo, Anakin. That's good. I like that.
But we can feel your emotions, and we don't think you're emotionally ready for something like this again. I mean, we sensed you had a lot of darkness in you, and, you know, we don't want, like, something to tip you over the edge and, you know, make you turn to the dark side. And, you know, Anakin's totally gonna stay on the light side. So anyway, Obi-Wan's like,
yep.
Hey, just don't worry about it. Focus on your studies. I'll be back in no time, and it'll be okay. So, you know, Obi-Wan leaves, and Anakin, you know, you know, being the great obedient person he is, leaves and, you know, tries to go follow Obi-Wan. Well, he does wait like a couple days because he respects Obi-Wan, but then got bored. So anyway, so Obi-Wan eventually finds
I'm crying at
Kamino,
this. It's so good.
And
I think I got eyelash in my eye.
Weird aliens working on these clones.
Okay, I got it. I'm good.
And these clones are a little different. They look similar. Someone we've seen already. Qui-Gon Jinn. And they're not all Force sensitive.
Qui-Gon.
Some of them maybe.
Qui-Gon clones.
So anyway, the clones find Obi-Wan and knock him unconscious. We cut back to Anakin, who's, you know, like, trying to find out, like, yo, I don't know where Obi-Wan went. What do I do? Dooku? Where did I last see him? And, you know, eventually, you know, goes to Naboo, because he has no one else to talk to, and guess who's there? Padme Amidala. And
Big Mama,
you know,
Padme.
They go on their little investigation, and they go to Maul's former base from the Phantom Menace. And they find these slaves working on this mining operation, and what are they mining? Kyber crystals. Now this is very interesting.
On Naboo.
Kyber was on
Naboo, yeah.
And
interesting.
They're very curious about that. But Anakin, he sees one of the slaves and recognizes her immediately. This is Shmi, his mother, and he's immediately like, "Whoa, what? My mother? You're still alive?" And eventually, the guards of this base, find Anakin and Padme, and they, attack. But eventually, a stray blaster bolt hits Shmi, and she dies.
Oh.
Anakin is enraged. He loses his absolute shit and just murders everybody.
Real quick, before we continue, guys, Anakin being angry is, the best Star Wars to ever Star Wars. You know what I mean? Not just in the movies, but, also in the Clone Wars. Whenever Anakin gets mad, you just sit back with popcorn and you just enjoy. You know what I mean? Actually, there was this one comic book a couple years ago. I shouldn't say couple, about 10 or so years ago. I don't know if it's canon anymore, where Anakin and Asajj are fighting. And I think this was initially where Asajj was supposed to die. Asajj Ventress. I think she was supposed to die here, but they retcon it now. So the comic book isn't canon anymore, but she says something. That's where Anakin gets his cut on his face. It's right before the episode 3, and she says something, gets him mad, and he just takes these electrical coils, wraps her up, and just kills her with them. It's crazy. But yeah, that was always a pretty intense comic. But like I said, angry Anakin is some of the best Star Wars to ever Star Wars, honestly.
And he's just his whole thing for 10 years is he was going to rescue his mother, and
now she's gone.
She died. So this is where we truly see the beginning of Darth Vader. And Anakin is just the Jedi. They tell me not to be angry or sad, but I just can't control it. I don't know what to do. And Padme tries to comfort him, but she doesn't really do the best ability, but she does better than the Council. So eventually they go back to the main part.
Padme's comforting.
And
Anakin, stop killing people.
Anakin's just, in this guest room, trying to meditate but failing because he's not one with the Force. He's not calm. And, he's approached by this senator. And this is Sheev Palpatine.
Ooh, Papa Palpatine.
Just hey, what's the matter? And he's Anakin's just with the Jedi, they don't understand. And Palpatine's yes, well, the Jedi, they're not really the best beings in the galaxy. And, Palpatine starts to seduce Anakin. And cut back to Obi-Wan. He's being tortured and, trying to be interrogated by the Kaminoans and the clones, when eventually the interrogation stops, and in walks Count Dooku. And Count Dooku's just oh, my friend, it's so
there
good to
he
see
is.
you.
There's Dooku.
And Obi-Wan's Dooku? What happened to you? Why aren't they attacking you? And Dooku's I have some news. It appears that the Jedi are attempting to overthrow the Republic. And Obi-Wan's I don't believe you. You're wrong. And Dooku's no, I'm very correct. Qui-Gon saw it too. As a matter of fact, Qui-Gon was in contact with this man named Darth Sidious. And Obi-Wan's immediately Darth? That's a Sith. And, Dooku's yes, we may be able to interact with the Sith for our own benefits. You see, Qui-Gon,
Dooku's lying.
He was going to build this army and defeat the Jedi, and then eventually destroy this Darth Sidious. And, Obi-Wan starts to think, oh, man, I thought I sensed something between Qui-Gon and Maul. What's up with that? Well, as it turns out, Qui-Gon and Maul were actually the two contestants when deciding the host of the clone DNA. And a Zabarak clone army would be really cool, but I like my human clones.
Imagine millions of Darth Mauls is
Dooku's
running around,
just
though. That'd be dangerous.
Please join me. I really don't want to have to hurt you. You're a really close friend. And Obi-Wan's like, I'm sorry, it really pains me. I wish I could join you, but what you're doing is wrong. And Dooku's like, well, I'm very sorry, old friend. And, leaves the room, and, they start to re-interrogate him. So, eventually, Obi-Wan tries to reach out to Anakin, or any council member, but Anakin's the one he gets because of their special bond. And Anakin's like, yo, I think I know where my master is. We gotta go, now. And, goes to the council, and he's like, yo, we gotta send people. We gotta attack this place. And, they're all like, I'm not sure we can do that, young one. We could be walking into a trap. What if they're just trying to make Obi-Wan send the Jedi in so they can exterminate us? And Anakin's like, I can't believe you guys. I'll go myself if I have to. And, Anakin, being the super obedient person he is, leaves to go to his ship. But before he can get on, he is approached by a Jedi, and behind that Jedi is a squad of maybe a couple newly knighted Jedi. Like, I wouldn't say they're super experienced, but they have their moments. And this Jedi's just like, yo, I totally agree with you. It's our duty as Jedi to protect one another. And who is this Jedi, you may be answering? You may be asking. I'm sorry, I can't do grammar, but you want to know who it is?
Yes.
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka!
So, Anakin and Ahsoka and this Jedi squad, they end up going to Kamino. They end up having a battle with the clones, and they free Obi-Wan. So eventually, Dooku's like, yo, I have to do something now, otherwise we're gonna get our butts whooped. So, he goes to order the clones into these shuttles, and he goes to escape himself when he is confronted by Anakin and
Obi-Wan.
So, Dooku's just like, this is your last chance. Join me or be destroyed.
Anakin better get his arm cut off, Starkiller.
They have a lightsaber duel, and
he has to get his arm cut off. That's just how things work.
Dooku disarms Obi-Wan and force pushes him up against a wall and knocks him unconscious. So Anakin's like, no! And, tries to tap into the dark side a little bit, and Dooku's like, yes, I see the dark side is making you stronger, but it is not enough to save you this time, young one. And cuts off Anakin's hand and electrocutes him with Force Light.
There we go.
Anakin
is
unconscious and actually stops breathing.
Only real Skywalkers lose their hands in the
Dooku
second
thinks he killed
movie
Anakin
of the trilogies.
and leaves.
Everyone knows that.
And eventually, Ahsoka comes and heals Anakin, and they're all like, "Well, what have we done? What have we done?" And the last thing you see before this movie closes are a bunch of these huge vessels containing thousands of clones jumping to light speed at different parts of the galaxy. The attack of the clones has begun. And that is this is my rewrite of Attack of the Clones. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I personally liked this more than The Phantom Menace. This is actually my favorite of the prequel trilogy, but I guess you guys will have to wait until Revenge of the Sith comes out. But
I'm excited.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you're new. And also, Ned, thank you for giving me all those extra views for The Phantom Menace. Maybe you can do it for this one, maybe?
Well, thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate the content.
Right. See you guys later.
Sweet.
Peace.
Alright, so there you go, guys. That is the rewriting of the prequel trilogy, Part 2, Attack of the Clones. So here are my thoughts. One part I wanted to mention, Qui-Gon assisting the Sith. At first, I thought that Dooku was just kind of messing around. But now that I look back at the story, maybe he's right. Maybe Qui-Gon actually was messing with the Sith to take down the Jedi. I guess we'll find out maybe in Part 3. Maybe not. I guess that storyline is kind of like done, For instance, like Dooku was trying to manipulate Obi-Wan with that information. He kind of does that in Attack of the Clones too, except for in this story, there is more credence to that because Qui-Gon is a clone. You know what I mean? There's actually like some real proof to that. So that was actually a really good rewrite that was thrown into the story. Another thing about the clones is that the clones are more like bad guys in Attack of the Clones, where like in the movies they're actually like good guys before they turn to the dark side and the Empire. So, you know, that's an interesting change. Another thing I thought was interesting, and this kind of goes for like all of Star Wars. I always wondered if George Lucas could like retroactively change the prequels in a way, would he have made Ahsoka in like the movies? The biggest con about doing that is that while it'd be cool to see her in the movies, and I could see her being placed in Revenge of the Sith in like certain places, that would probably result in her death. So maybe it is for the best that she wasn't in the movies, because then she can survive longer in the series, which makes sense. But yeah, overall, super solid, dude. I really like the fact with your rewriting series, what you do is you pay homage to the actual like original story you're rewriting, but you also change it enough that you subvert expectations enough. You know, so it's not like you're not Ryan Johnson in here. You know what I mean? You're not overdoing the subversions. They're solid subversions. So that's good. But if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely check out Starkiller's channel and subscribe. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And if you enjoy my videos, please remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications for more. I'm super excited to see how you're going to tackle Revenge of the Sith, because, you know, the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, there's a lot of cons to kind of rewrite to kind of make it better. Revenge of the Sith, I think, is the best Star Wars movie to date. So I'm excited to see how you're going to tackle that story, and if not improve it, just change it enough that makes it different, makes it feel more fresh. So good luck, man. Oh, and yes, I will definitely be doing a reaction to part 3. So check that out. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later. Peace.